So this is war. That's the point. This is war.
This video was brought to you by Patreon. Support my activism and gain early access to all my videos for only $1 a month.
So now we're going to give attention to Brother Tony Morris. Hi, Tony.
Hey. What was your name again?
It wasn't actually a joke. Tony Morris actually forgot the name of his buddy. Uncle Tony is back. Your favorite high-functioning uncle is ready to impart some profound heavenly wisdom through his scotch-flavored breath. Are you ready, guys? You know what to do with every ExJW video? Hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep sending our love to the governing body.
And Brother Morris is going to talk to us on the theme, They Will Be Sensational.
Now, in a moment, I'll explain what is going to be sensational. But first, please open your Bibles to Hebrews chapter 6, or find it on your phone or tablet. Now, Paul here in this letter is addressing those with the heavenly hope.
Holy cow, it hasn't even been 50 seconds into the video and Uncle Tony already lied twice. That's gotta be a new record. Lie number 1. Paul wrote the book of Hebrews. He did not. We know this because the writing style and themes of Hebrews are completely different from the authentic epistles of Paul. Hebrews was written by an anonymous author, and even hardcore Christian academics know this. Lie number 2. Hebrews was written for the heavenly class. This implies Christians are divided into two hopes for the future, one heavenly and one earthly. They're not. Nothing in the New Testament points to such a thing. Whether the original Christians believed in an earthly paradise or a heavenly paradise after death, we cannot know for sure. I think it could go either way depending on how you interpret the text. What we do know for sure is that they all shared one hope. Dividing them in two is a doctrine exclusive to Watchtower. Tony, you are making me work way too hard on these.
In verse 19, we have this hope as an anchor for the soul, both sure and firm, and it enters in within the curtain. The anchor, see? And it's just critical that the other sheep and the anointed have their anchor in shape. Now, the Watchtower just last year, February 2021, on page 30, mentioned this profound thought. An anchor stabilizes a ship during a storm, and it stops it from drifting onto rocks. But an anchor is useful only if the chain that attaches to the ship does not break. So if we lose our faith, we lose our hope. The Watchtower addressed that profound thought to all of God's people.
Praise the gods. What a profound thought that is. Anchors need strong chains to work properly. I don't think anyone could have figured that out without divine guidance. Now allow me to worship you in front of my Watchtower altar for such profound wisdom.
Now for now, we're facing what Revelation chapter 21, in symbolic language. We'll turn to Revelation 21. And this is why it's so critical to have that clear about our hope, being the anchor there. In verse 1 of Revelation 21, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the former heaven and the former earth had passed away. Now notice, and the sea is no more. Well, the sea is no more. What are we talking about here? Well, that means that after Armageddon, there's no more sea. Well, obviously, that's not literal with the oceans or the seas there. That's the demon-agitated sea of wicked mankind. Gone. But it's not gone yet. See? And just like in literal wars, submarines are used, sneak up on the ships. Well, Satan's same way, him and his demon horde. So he's going to use any means he can, try to wreck our ship. It's an individual one-on-one with Jehovah. And, many of you, I look out, see you couples that very close, love each other. Well, your mate, for those of you married, has to have this kind of relationship with their father, Jehovah. Everybody does. Unless you're a toddler, then you're going to be in God's hands. If your parents are witnesses, that's a good chance you'll be okay.
Oof. Let's take a moment of silence for all those toddlers who don't have JW parents, all set for destruction very, very soon. And since Tony Morris believes he will fight alongside Christ in the final war to destroy wicked mankind, then he is gonna take part in slaughtering all these unholy toddlers. Now that I think about it, it's not too different from all those Old Testament bloodbaths where babies are slaughtered wholesale by the Israelites in behalf of Yahweh. We have come full circle, folks. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, back to the old one. My God. Tony also kind of implied that toddlers don't need to have a relationship with Jehovah to be saved. If that's the case, Tony, then why do you keep making propaganda specifically designed for babies? Your cartoon series is literally called Become Jehovah's Friend. Tony, could you make up your mind, please?
So this is war. That's the point.
This is war.
And it's not going to get easier, see, till the sea is no more. Now, during these times, this war, we face stormy seas. It includes a lot of things, loss of material things. There's all kinds of other storms that come up and connected with the sea of wicked mankind. But this one here is what we're going to emphasize. The death of a loved one. Oh. Okay. The death of a loved one. What a storm. And that is when our anchor is essential as individuals. That anchor is essential. Never lose your anchor. Not saying you're not going to be battered, and I'm not going to be battered, but don't lose your anchor. Jehovah gave it to us, and Paul made that clear. Now, a sister wrote in, and I certainly wouldn't name her. She may eventually see this program here, but thought it was worth sharing with us. But she was honest and humble about it, but it shows, God's people are imperfect. I don't know if you noticed that, but...
Oh yeah? I think we've all fucking noticed at this point.
Don't say anything, David, when you come out later. So, her dad died faithful. Now, here's what she admits. Before her dad died, she says that when she saw others shedding tears after loved ones died, she thought, why do people cry so much? They will see them again. Would that comfort you if you just lost a loved one? No. Would that comfort you if you just lost a loved one? As I told the brothers in the coordinators committee office, when we're facing these disasters and all these things, and I've been telling them for some time now, cheer up, it's going to get worse. And so we keep a sense of humor with it, but that's a fact. What we're experiencing right now in this global pandemic, I was telling the branch class yesterday, it doesn't bother me. We've been waiting for this. We knew things like this were going to happen. Christ Jesus has prepared us. Where's the shock? Now to our theme, they will be sensational. What is they? They are family reunions in the new world. The things that are coming, oh.
Oh, Uncle Tony, I'm definitely coming.
Oh. Go ahead and use your imagination. Jehovah won't fault you for that. They're going to be sensational. They really are. Now, another word for sensational is astonishing. Another one is astounding. And what's nice, this is not a fantasy. This is what's going to happen. It's a reality.
Have you heard of the stick and the carrot? It's what abusive authorities use to control people. The stick represents threat of punishment. Watchtower loves the stick. When they talk about the upcoming apocalypse, they instill fear into their listeners. The carrot is the promised reward. When Watchtower talks about paradise, they are dangling that carrot in front of their listeners. You wouldn't want to miss out on a paradise, would you? Now let's see how Tony uses the carrot.
So let's consider some families in Bible history, first of all. And we'll start with Noah. And he was born in 2970 BCE, 126 years after Adam's death, so he didn't have any interaction with Adam. I think he got a blessing there, personally. So he was faultless. He walked with the true God. Now, he lived up to what Jehovah expected of him. And find Genesis, if you would, please. And we're going to look at chapter 8, verses 16 and 17. After the flood, go out of the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives. So here we go. But we know that's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. That's what the scripture said. We don't know the names of the wife or the sons' wives. Why? You can ask God, but I don't see anything in here going to tell me why he decided not to have it in there. That has nothing to do with being worthy. It's all about the lineage that went through. And, you know, we all know better than, argue with God. God, I really love your word, but, a couple of things here. Not too bright to have that kind of attitude. So these are beautiful, faithful women. And here's the point. During the New World, what a family reunion they're going to have. And how thrilled you're going to be, because I'm sure you got some questions about what that was like, And then we don't have much while they were on the ark. How'd things go? I mean, a lot of the old timers here at Bethel and other Bethels have so many stories, and they're a pleasure. Well, get ready. Whole lot of sensational stories from sensational family reunions like this one.
Oof, where do I even begin? Those are gonna be some awkward family conversations in paradise. Oh yeah, Dad, remember when you got pissed drunk and cursed my son Canaan? Well, today the witnesses showed me in the Bible that your curse would ruin the lives of thousands of my descendants during the conquest of the Promised Land. Not cool, dude. Hey Noah, why is it that your name and the name of our sons got recorded in the Bible and not the names of us, the women? Could it be that the Bible is a book full of misogyny where women are portrayed as subordinate halves and are banned from teaching other men? Then God strikes her dead on the spot. We know that the Noah story is just a myth. Uncle Tony has created his own fan fiction about something that never happened. It's so silly, and he sounded so incoherent during the entire illustration. Tony Morris should have retired like 3 decades ago.
Let's go over to chapter 21.
What was he looking at? My dude is losing his mind.
This different example of a family that'll enjoy a sensational reunion in the New World. It highlights the fact that Sarah became pregnant, and this is the love of Abraham's life as far as humans go.
Abraham loved Sarah so much that he was down to screw her slave girl in order to speed up God's promise. What a loyal husband.
And they bore a son together, Isaac. And this is just incredible. You take chapter 22 of Genesis, Jehovah gives this direction. And any of you that are fathers or you're listening, and you don't have to be a father to be touched by this, obviously, as you love Jehovah and you love Jesus. But he says in verse 2, take please your son, your only son, whom you so love. Oh yeah, he knew. Oh, Abraham sure loves Isaac. And this is remarkable. He knows he loves him so much, and what's he tell him to do? Sacrifice him. So we don't have all the, or any record of any feelings that Abraham had during all this. We get some indication of some things going on here, but those of you that have ever had a son or sons, the impact here is just phenomenal. He did go all the way with the knife, and he had actually, in mind and heart, committed the sacrifice. But Jehovah, after he reached out with the knife and everything's in motion, Jehovah had the angel call out, Abraham, Abraham, just in time. That stopped the whole thing. And Abraham said, here I am. And then he told him in verse 12, do not harm the boy.
Hey Tony, you forgot to read the rest of the passage, where Jehovah tells Abraham that since he saw his willingness to finish the sacrifice, only then did he know that Abraham was obedient. Yes, the all-knowing God of the universe needed to torture Abraham with a command to slit the throat of his beloved son in order to test his obedience, instead of, reading Abraham's heart. It's almost like Genesis portrays the God of the Bible as not knowing everything, and as a God that learns new things. And no, that would not be a sensational family reunion. If the story of Abraham was real, I'm sure Isaac would always be a bit uneasy around his father after the sacrifice incident.
But this is quite interesting. In verse 4 of chapter 1, each of his sons would hold a banquet at his house on his own set day. Well, what's that all about? Well, we have the gift of the Insight book, so many other references, but it's always been a blessed gift. And the Insight stated, it would seem that Job's 7 sons held a family gathering, possibly a spring or harvest festival, and as the feasting made the week-long circuit, each son hosted the banquet in his own house. That's a close family. They were all there, just such a close family that loved each other.
So yeah, in other words, Job's children celebrated their birthday. Pagan motherfuckers will make it to paradise.
The message comes to Job about the cattle and the Sabaeans attacking. And then, you see, the wicked one never said he wasn't smart. Because see, verse 16, fire from God. So, now they're involved, going to blame God for this. See, Satan, yeah, they're all going to think it was God did this, even though he's behind it, and it falls from there and kills the sheep. Well, then, verse 18 and 19, where it's still speaking, your sons, your daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. Suddenly a great wind came. Well, apparently Jehovah allowed that kind of power in that case. Killed them all. Dead. Killed them. So, 7 sons and 3 daughters. Now, That's history. It mentions, after things are past here and Jehovah doubled everything and he's just rich again. Verse 13, he also, of 42:13, he also came to have 7 more sons and 3 more daughters. Isn't that, just Jehovah's so wonderful. But see, Jehovah's not finished with them, because in the new world, and likely work out the timing, all 20 children, Job and his wife. Say, wow, sensational family reunion.
Tony just shows 3 of the most depressing Bible stories he could find, right? The book of Job treats Job's children like cattle. Oh, you lost 10 children thanks to a tragedy I caused/allowed? Here are 10 more children. I'm such a loving God. Ugh. Another terrible family reunion. If Job's 10 murdered children were resurrected, how would they react when they read the Bible and see the real reason they perished? How would Job react when he learns he lost everything and underwent horrific suffering, all because Jehovah made a bet with the devil to make an example out of him? Why would Job and his children want to worship a God like that? They would rebel and have to be executed again at the end of the 1,000 years. Hey Tony, you told me to use my imagination. How do you like it now?
So the reunion with your loved ones is a certainty. You will be enjoying your family reunions soon. Keep your anchor in good shape till the sea of wicked mankind is no more, and we entreat you, focus on the coming sensational family reunions.
Tony has gotten huge. Damn, it's hard to accept death, guys. It really is. It's difficult to come to grips with your own mortality, especially when you have spent your entire life working for some sort of future reward. As long as there is fear of death, there will be religious charlatans offering a supposed solution. As much as we laugh at Uncle Tony, and rightfully so, he's a horrible cult leader, I can't help but feel bad for him as well. And his audience. They sincerely believe that they're gonna see their loved ones again very soon. Their attachment to the paradise hope is not based on any rational thinking, since the idea of an earthly paradise crumbles once you start thinking critically. This attachment is simply emotional. They want to see their loved ones again. It has to be true. They couldn't have spent their entire lives working for a delusion, right? I want to give thanks to everyone for watching the video. Special thanks to my beautiful Patreons. Really, your support means a lot to me. It really helps me keep going, even when the YouTube algorithm doesn't always compensate me well for my work. Guys, thank you so much for my Patreons. You guys are lovely, and thank you so much for everyone else who is not on Patreon but is watching my videos and liking the channel. Thanks guys. I mean, really, the fact that you can sit here and laugh with me and laugh at Uncle Tony, or with Uncle Tony, however you want to see it, it's precious to me. I'm super grateful, and I couldn't ask for a more lovely audience. So, see you on the next video. Thanks for everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and have a wonderful day, and stay away from the tower.
Oh.